Morning, Masters. Let's get started. So we have been talking about yoga Vasistha. So we, as part of it, we went through different discussions, starting with Valmiki Arishtanemi, and then conversation between Vishwamitra, Vasistha, and Rama. They answering the questions from Rama, and then Vasistha started talking about the jnanam he received from Brahma in the request from Vishwamitra. So he explained destiny and will, um, and importance of doing udyoga or your actions, and not depending on destiny. Or in the sense, they what he's saying, your actions itself are the are going the past actions decide your current, and your current actions decide your future. So he kind of said, God is witness to everything. He talked about doing the following Sat Shastram, Sat Sangam, and Sadacharam. So through which you will be able to realize the Brahman. So, and because you are going to increase the good vasanas or qualities and purify your mind, and then transcend the mind. And he gave the sadhana chatushtayam. I think we discussed all that yesterday. And we got into, we also talked about, he explained how he got Brahma Vidya, or this particular jnana from Brahma. Explained how from the from nothing, just like a wave comes out of ocean, Narayana came. Then from Narayana's Nabhi, Brahma came, and then Brahma started creation. And then for the creation, he realized again the creation is based on their karmas. Um, how did they? The first one did not have any karma, so he kind of explains that later, part of it. But the intention is, but what he says is, all the creation is based on, all the jivas are based on, are born based on their karmas. And he realized they are in sorrow, so they need to get some practices or some knowledge which will help them to get out of their sorrow. So he first he gave the Shuddhi sadhanas or karma sadhana, which is basically to doing tapam, danam, uh, doing stick with dharmam, satyam. So he gave certain aspects as part of doing karma, so that you clear your purify your mind. So, but the sorrow is not completely gone, obviously. So then he gave the sakshat sadhana, which is moksha sadhana, and for that he created he as part of his creation, or from his sankalpa, Vashishta was born, and he gave the momentary, or one muhurta's time. That's what he says. He gave the ajnana to Vashishta, or he through his sankalpa, he influenced Vashishta so that he will have ajnana for one muhurta. Then he during that time, Vasishta was in sorrow. So Brahma asked him, um, "Why are you in sorrow? Do you need uh, me to remove the sorrow?" So Vasishta said yes, and then he gave the jnanam to Vasishta, which include uh, both. One is Kriya Kanda, and there is Jnana Kanda. And Kriya Kanda is about Shuddhi sadhanas, and Jnana Kanda is about Moksha sadhanas. And both of them to put together, it is called Vedam. So that's how Vedas were again brought into this this world, this universe. And he told Vasishta to please teach these things to anybody who is qualified, should karma sadhanas, or for people who are in the pravritti marga, and then jnana sadhana is for anybody who is in nivritti marga, but it can also be given to people who have got vivekam and vairagyam. Those are the qualifications he gave. So if a person has this, then you can teach jnana kanda. So he gave those instructions, and told him to please go ahead and teach these things. And Vasishtha said to Rama, "That's how I have been in this world, teaching these things to everybody, whoever is qualified, and that's how I am teaching it to you." And similarly, there are many others like me who are, again, going back to the original question Rama asked, why is Vyasa still here? How did Shuka got the Kaivalyam? Even though Shuka um, got the knowledge from his guru, Vyasa, as well as Janaka, they are still there. So Vashita said, so he, he's a Videha Mukta, but the Vyasa, the one you see here, and also Janaka, including myself as well as Vishwamitra. So we are all Sajiva Muktas. That means we all got the Brahma Jnana, but we are here for the benefit of the society. And that's when Rama asked the next question. He basically, why did Brahma had to uh, get the idea to teach these jnanas? What was the necessity? Again, Vashishta started saying, as I said before, it is to remove the sorrows. But he kind of started giving originally when we start the world creation started, it is Kruta Yuga. So he actually says this, the very first creation when it happened, because creation has happened many times. So the very first, when the Kruta Yuga started, it basically had our beings, our human beings who are of pure in nature. So they were always in Shuddha Sattva, Satya. So, but as time passed, so they lost there is dust, just like there is dust fall on the mirror. So they forgot their original status and slowly started getting into Rajotamas gunas. As they got into Treta Yuga, there are actually, along with me, there are many others who are part of the creation for the to teach the jnana. So, for example, the Sanatsanagalu. So they created they were created as this creation, and that we our duty, or we were doing it as uh, to make sure the society is not in sorrow, or anybody who is in sorrow, or whoever is qualified. So we do different. We do either Karmakanda or Jnanakanda based on their qualification. We started teaching them. So we, as we got into, I mean, again, as we are in the Treta Yuga, mainly we started teaching it to kings. The reason is they are the top of the ladder. So if you teach the kings, they are ruling the societies. So that when they are ruling the societies, they need to have the jnana. So we taught them to the dharma, artha, kama, to because they do these things, and we taught them the uh, uh, yajnas. We used to stay with them and perform these karma kanda aspect with them, so that their mind is purified and stay with Brahman, so that when they are executing their daily uh, activities, they are performing their daily activities, their mind has to be pure, so that the society can be a better place. We started slow, but as the time passed by, as it got into different, as the time passes, then we saw that um, kings got, because of the wealth or dhanam, or they got into accumulating the wealth, and they got into the food. So their qualities, the pure original qualities, slowly degraded, and again, so it replaced the ego, uh, kind of took over, and their it has impacted their performance, or in the sense their ability to rule the societies. So then we started teaching them Atmajnanam to some of them, because that's once anybody who has the Atmajnanam, they generally tend to lose interest in the worldly affairs. So when they lose the interest in these dhanam, food, and some of the luxuries they have access to, they will be able to focus more on Brahman. since they are in touch with the Brahman more, once they lose the interest on these worldly affairs, then they will be able to rule the societies better. So then that's how we started teaching Atmajnanam to kings. And that's why you see many kings who have ruled for a really long time, um, full of luxuries in their life. At some point, they leave the kingdom. Once they think that they have done enough, they go to Vanaprastham. They did not go into, once they retired, they did not go back to, they said, they didn't stay in the luxurious places. I don't want to rule the kingdom anymore. I wanted to enjoy the luxuries. So they didn't have that. So they basically have said, okay, I'm done with the kingdom. I'm going to Vanaprastham. They lived the rest of the life doing, staying in tapas and doing the, trying to attain Brahman. So since we taught this jnana to kings, it came as a Rajavidya, and it is Guhyam. That means um, it is some which is it's not a secret or anything. It means that when you to understand that you need sukshma buddhi to have the certain qualities to be able to understand that. That's why it is called Guhyam. And he also he basically said that Rama, he already told you already have got vairagyam. So to get that vairagyam, so this Atmajnanam is basically to get to the vairagya state. You already have it, and whatever you have, it is not krutrimam, not artificial or temporary. And in the world there are other vairagyas. He kind of mentioned smashana vairagyam. When somebody dies, we get vairagya, purana vairagyam. When you are when you are in listening to Puranas or Bhagavatam, etc. So Purana Vairagyam. While listening, you feel like this life is not uh, permanent. So then Prasuti Vairagyam, during the birth of a child, um, women get this Vairagyam. I'm done with this. No longer, I will not go through that again. But again, so these three vairagyas are temporary in nature. But once you get out of, let's say once you get out of your the smashanam, you start involving the worldly affairs, you forgot about it. Similar to Purana Vairagyam, similarly, Prasudi. But the one you got is permanent, not krutrimam. So we can probably stop here. And he got into different aspects of Atmajnana. So we'll continue tomorrow. Let's get into meditation. Cross your legs, clasp your fingers, close your eyes, and focus on the breath.